Now it seems the wind calls me back to
Well, that was fun. A Tale of
me
Wicker Fire. Well, quest completed. The burning of the Wicker Man. But what if you didn't do it? I don't think the game would let me. The game did give me a prompt to just kill him before that point, and then I could have not burned him, I guess. I wonder if you would have had to burn someone else then, or what exactly happens. What might go on there? Alright, we'll report back. But yeah, okay, so on the topic of Persona 5X, I'm told there's a plot line where one of the bad guys, yeah, the very first one, who's using his role in society to avoid consequences for his horrible actions, is a guy who really aggressively bumps people on the subway. He aggressively bumps women on the subway. He's known as the Subway Slammer, and one of his lines is, "This whole subway's mine for the slammin'." And his villain motivation is that he used to be like this really big hit baseball player, but I guess when he was playing at a school at one point for like tiny children, one of his pitches that was thrown was hit really well by this little girl, and then his reputation started going down the drain because everyone was like, wow, he got annihilated by this really little girl, and then his baseball career kind of dwindled down, and he kind of didn't make the best decisions, and he was like, well, I guess all women are awful now, and then he started bumping into them in the subway, and he became the Subway Slammer, because he bumped into people in the subway station. I would honestly recommend just checking it out there, the story. Check out part of my series on the game there, and you won't be disappointed. It is unbelievable levels of absurd. But yeah, doesn't sound as bad as a guy who wants to find a math problem that'll control all life just because he can. What story is that from there? There, look. There's only one left on the map right now that I can currently do. Just show it to me. Dark side. I'm not familiar with it. I guess I'll do that one next time. And there's gonna be like 2 more things, but I guess I gotta kill all the order members before that point if I want the best ending, it sounds like.
I should go.
So there's order members I'm gonna have to kill at some point here. But yeah, the plot of P5X has got to be the most stupidly absurd plot I've seen since Bravely Default 2.
Be my eyes, Sunan.
I don't have that stuff. I don't have that stuff. Runeforge, what does that do? Engrave the effects of perks onto runes that can be slotted into weapons and armor. That sounds handy. I don't know what those materials that needs from me are. Those are regular supplies. Improves the feast buff. 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 So useless, man. So a recap, this dude's character motivation is that he lost a baseball game to a girl as a child and decided, I'm gonna bump women really aggressively on the subway. Well, yeah, well, you know, her being a child, not him. But yes, essentially. He was beaten in a baseball game, or like, I don't think the game even said that he was beaten in a baseball game, just that like, she hit one of his pitches really well, like went out of the park or something like that. And then he kind of started hating out all women there. No, he was an adult, she was a child. And he was like this super pro baseball player. And then, a whole bunch of rumors started going around about him just really sucking because a child hit one of his pitches, even though you would realistically assume that he would have been going easy on her and stuff like that. Is there no other Zelts I'm gonna see on the map around here? I wouldn't have to be like super zoomed in, would I? Would I see them somewhere? I don't know where the heck they would be. I have not a clue. But yeah, in other words, he's a Nintendo villain. Well, plus, you also have the fact that he would hook up with prostitutes and blame them for his problems. And then the final boss against him literally has what is seemingly visually very strongly implied to be semen on his boss model. But that's neither here nor there. I don't know where any dudes would be. I don't know if I can chip away at any of this here. And I had these dudes. it is certainly quite the plot arc, just in general, that whole bit. So, yeah, so he's a rare villain, yeah, I guess so. So, yeah, that's the very first palace of Persona 5X. So, yeah, if you want to see, like, the most ridiculous story ever, just watch that part of my playthrough there. I will probably play a little bit more of the story at some point here. I'll play a little bit into the second palace just to check it out. But yeah, the very first one is the absolute most ridiculous. I don't know if there's any other dudes. I think I actually have been killing them as I've been seeing them. I might need to look up some sort of a guide for how you even find the rest of the dudes and how stuff is going on there. Because, yeah, I do not have enough clues about these guys. So I think they were trying to go for the whole Subway Molester bit, which is a thing in Japan, but what the fuck is this plot even? Yeah, well, I guess that's something. I don't know what else I can do this stream, because there isn't any of those dudes to go around and kill. I'm not starting another plot arc. There's that one quest with Ranvi, if that's at all important, but, like, meh. I can literally just talk about this for the last little bits of this stream. It's 1:40 in the morning, but whatever, here. So, with the plot of this game here, if I just go to my P5X playlist here, and it's lagging a little bit, but that's okay. Yeah, so we immediately have, like, the Subway Slammer coming on in here. It's a baseball stadium, is his palace. This is where we get the legendary line, the whole Subway's mine for the slamming. And then you get, like, this super crazy anime cutscene of him, like, super aggressively slamming there. I mean, you have this crazy anime cutscene as well, where he's coated in all this, like, purple energy and stuff as he gets ready to, like, bump into his next victim there. And then, this is where we found out about the motivation. So, as you're going through the palace, you have, like, the flashbacks and stuff like that on, like, the TV screens that show what happened in the past. So here, this interviewer is talking to him about, like, wow, that's crazy that this freaking toddler here hit your pitch so well, isn't it? And he's just like, yeah, it sure is. And then he kind of started hating women because, like, this child hit his pitch during, like, some sort of school game or something like that he was at. And then, of course, she is, like, high school student, is, like, one of your party members to have, like, connection to the villain and stuff like that. And, you know, there's that whole plot line that goes on. And then, yeah, it's really lagging here. I call this part no way for real, because in the game chat, we found another player whose name was Ryuji for real, and he said for real in the chat. Might be the lamest character motivation of all time. You know, I don't play a whole lot of freemium games on the channel here, because, like, it's just not really the kind of games that I want to be drawing a lot of attention to. But I did want to play a little bit of this just to showcase what is this game like out of curiosity. But, you know, I don't want to play that far into it because, you know, freemium thingamabob. My camera died. Its tracking is broken. It has the red light of death on it. That means that's stuck at this angle, but whatever, this angle is fine. But honestly, I genuinely enjoyed playing through the first palace of this game because it was one of those stories that was so bad it was good. Honestly, like, I genuinely got a lot of enjoyment out of laughing my head off at the ridiculousness of this. Okay, this is just lagging my computer. We're done with Assassin's Creed Valhalla tonight. We're done. I can just close this game here. We're done with this. Yep, we're done, so. No more lag here. It's like right up there with Broly and Dragon Ball Z's motivation being that he hates Goku for crying as a baby. I should watch this then. But yeah, here I did, like, some other side stuff here. Oh, my camera actually got its blue light back on without me needing to reset it. Weird. Yeah, and then this is the thingamabob where she's like, never meet your heroes and stuff like that, and you see him, like, blaming more women for his problems and stuff, saying the calling card. And then I call this Last Strike because that's just the name of the boss, the fight. Like, OST there. Oh, yeah. And this game has multiplayer lobbies, and I joined a lobby called Birds Aren't Real. This is no views right now because it's, like, not published yet. It's still going with, like, the daily upload schedule. But here's the boss. Here's what he looks like, and, I didn't want to think too much about what that was there, But later on in the boss, you do see that, like, the back of it, there's, like, mouths that are sticking out what seems to be tongues here, and you've got that, and it's like, oh. Oh. So that's the boss design here, huh? Sounds like it'd fit just fine with Conker's Bad Fur Day. It probably would, wouldn't it? Thank God they changed Broly's character in Dragon Ball Super and made it so instead he was forced into the Frieza Force. Gotta be so real, I thought he was wearing a diaper. Yeah, he just kind of wears that with the duck cannon on the end in his boss fight here. Yeah. Yeah. So there's that. I could switch to play a little bit of P5X for a little smidge tonight just for funsies. I probably wouldn't go too late because it's already like 2 in the morning, but maybe this would be like a 3 a.m. stream. I don't know. Yeah, honestly it is. But apparently the mobile version is like a few gigabytes big, but the PC version on Steam is like 80 gigs. That's the reason why it's visually impressive, is because it's not exactly a small game. Also, Freddy Fazbear was in the chat over there. But yeah, there was that. The main villain motivation, without spoilers, is to enslave the protagonist because he can't drink his milk due to his table missing a chair. Is that following up to what Lannister said about the Dragon Ball stuff, or something with Conker's Bad Fur Day? Because I've seen a full playthrough of Conker's Bad Fur Day. I don't remember this, but it has been a while since I've seen Conker's Bad Fur Day. I would like to play it one day here, but okay, Conker's Bad Fur Day. Okay. A leg, not a chair, and that's Conker. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I do remember getting quite a decent few laughs out of watching a playthrough of Conker's Bad Fur Day. Like, one of the most unhinged games I've ever seen. But yeah, this is P5X for you. Apparently, after there were so many complaints with this first story, like, in the regions that they released this in prior, they decided that they were going to hire somebody that actually knows a thing or two about writing. So apparently the writing of the second palace is a whole lot better. But yeah, I was honestly surprised that that was like a real issue in Japan. But looking it up and stuff, you could find like a Wikipedia page on like men bumping into women in subways or whatever the actual term for that is. Apparently it is an actual problem in Japan, but like the way that they handled it with like the stupidest motivation ever. And I mean, also just compared to like regular Persona 5 that you could be playing instead, where you've got a dude that is like very, very clearly a very major villain at your school, whereas this guy, he just kind of bumps people in the subway. Like, sure, there's the one anime cutscene where he bumps someone so hard that they go over the guardrails and onto the track when he was aiming for, you know, the very girl that hit his pitch there. But most women, he just kind of bumps slightly. Some of them get knocked over, and you know, it kind of puts a little bit of a damper on their day, and then they start losing their desires, is what the game goes on about, and they become like super emotionless and unmotivated to do anything and stuff like that. It's pretty dumb. But yeah. Conker kills a xenomorph with a katana. I don't remember this. It was so many years ago that I watched a playthrough of Conker's Bad Fur Day. I would love to stream it on the channel one day. Maybe some sort of special event. Definitely not a LAN event at a public venue or anything like that, knowing just how crazy Conker's Bad Fur Day gets. But yeah, do it. Also, in regular Persona 5, the bad guys were people in high positions in society, and that's how they get away with their villainy. And the game is just like, here's just some guy. Yeah, he gets away with it because whenever it's brought up to the cops in this world, they're just like, yeah, we can't really do anything about it unless we catch him in the act. And we're just, like, not around the subway. Even though this has been reported over and over, we're not really going to be keeping an eye out. We don't have, like, cameras around or anything like that. Unless there's any hard proof of catching him in the act, like, we can't do anything about it, and they don't bother to get any hard proof, so they only actually catch him when he turns himself in, because, you know, you change his heart Persona 5 style and stuff here, and it's pretty ridiculous. But yeah, apparently this is how it started. Was this? I'm the only one that dropped a like on my own video. Such is life. But yeah, so let's see here. So this is her where it's like, you managed to hit Kyuchi's game-deciding slider. Looked really cool. Meant to ask how you felt. Do me a slider just like I asked him to. And then he's all disappointed, and then, like, he starts hating women because she hit his pitch. It seems like a talented kid. Slip through your grip, resulting in a double. And then he's, like, all mad and stuff because he didn't want that pitch to be hit. He wants to, like, absolutely destroy the child and stuff. So, yeah. Like, your own videos, Harm. I'm so proud. I always try to, like, comment on my own videos to, like, one, maybe it gives, like, any extra points for engagement, and two, it shows people that are looking in the comments that, hey, I'm commenting on my video, so if they comment, there's a good chance that I reply. Like, I'm active in comments and stuff like that. Those are the two reasons why I comment on my own videos, even if it's just, like, some random jargon that's like, I don't know what to comment for this one, and it ends up being a, what do I comment on this one? So bad, it's peak, hell yeah. And then if I'm here clicking on my own videos anyway, I may as well do that just in case it does anything, I don't know. And then she's all happy and he's all sad, and then that begins, like, his spiral to wanting to bump into people in the subway, and like that's her and stuff. Anyway, you want to play some P5X? It still says 1 moment please on my capture card. I don't know why I turned off display capture. I could have just left it on here. I have to change my stream category and stuff here. But you know what, I can be up for a little while longer. We can play a little smidge of P5X tonight. I have been playing it a little bit on and off just for, like, stupid daily login bonuses and stuff like that, just in case that helps me get through the game here. And yeah, let me change my stream category. I don't know what stream we're on. Stream, I don't know. I'm gonna put in the stream title right now. So I'm gonna do the rest of the stream title. I guess I can leave the same of 10 days until Fragapalooza. Here, we're gonna play a little bit of Persona 5X and see what the hell is going on here. And then we'll do that next story in AC Valhalla next time or something or other here. I don't know.